The design challenge that I chose to do is called Important and Inspiring People in American History, and it's intended for students in fifth grade. In this assignment, students are going to work in pairs in order to research not only someone who's influential in shaping the US, but also someone that they find inspiring. They're going to be researching facts about this person's life, what that person did, also relevant words that they may have said. For example, if they're researching a president, they might find some words from a speech or from letters, lots of things that they can do there. Also, this activity should really be done at the end of the school year so that they have plenty of people to choose from. I could have limited this to one particular event, for example, the Civil War, but I didn't want all my students to be doing the same person. I wanted a bit more variety, and I wanted them to really reflect back on the year and think, okay, these are the things that we studied. Was there anyone in particular that stood out to me? And hopefully there will be, and that is the person they'll choose to do. Of course, they are going to be working together, so they're going to be choosing a person together, and they're going to be using Pixton in order to recreate either an important event in the person's life, a series of events in the life, or to basically relate various facts about the person. And the comic should contain at least 6 panels. Each panel should have dialogue and or captions. So good uses of dialogue are going to include, again, probably some direct quotes from a speech that the person gave, maybe a letter they wrote, maybe something they were known to have said. This is a good opportunity for students to get to research some of the things that this person is famous for having said. Also, captions should really name the event that's illustrated. They can also give relevant facts. If we look here, I made an example for the students, and I chose someone who's particularly inspiring to me, and that is Abraham Lincoln. Every single caption I have on here gives you the basically where we are in that person's life. I had to be a little bit creative with this first slide. I just could not find a baby in Pixton, and so I found an area that looked like, okay, well, this could have been where he was from. And then he's kind of introducing his own life and kind of gives a little tidbit, and those are really my own thoughts about part of why he's so inspiring. And then you can see, for example, this is something that he wrote to someone in a letter. Some of these I came up with myself. This is a famous speech that everyone will immediately recognize. This is one of my favorite quotes of all time, really, said by anyone, but was said at the end of his first inaugural address. And then also some important things that he did: Emancipation Proclamation, Gettysburg Address, etc. And so, as you can see, this assignment has really a great potential to be creative and to have the students just dive in and see and research someone and think, okay, well, what can we actually create a panel about? What's worth commenting about in the person's life? What's worth showing? What were important things that they did? What were things that they did that really made a difference? And so if we go back to here, I'm going to introduce this lesson. I'm going to take about 25 minutes. And first I want to tell them a short and captivating story that will hopefully draw them in to the lesson immediately. And then this is not absolutely necessary, but I think that would be a good idea to really show a PowerPoint featuring some people, because they might think, okay, yeah, we learned a lot this year, but maybe no one comes to their mind immediately when they're thinking about it. And so the idea behind showing a PowerPoint is to give them some ideas of people that they might not have really considered before, or that might have just kind of slipped from their mind. So George Washington is probably one there a lot of people are going to choose, but let's also look at people like Frederick Douglass and some others. And so hopefully that will give them an idea. And then finally, I'm going to show them my example that I already showed here, which was the Abraham Lincoln comic. And then they're going to get together with their partner. Again, they're going to work in pairs, and they're going to choose someone. They need to get teacher approval before they can go ahead and really delve into the bulk of the research and then creating the comic. They're going to research the person's life again, important events in that person's life, words they said, etc. And if they have time, they are going to start creating their Pixton comment after they have outlined the 6 panels and received teacher approval. So they're going to start working on their comic. They might not have a lot of time. Again, this lesson is probably just the introduction in a lesson that's really going to take a few sessions. After they've worked on it a bit, we're going to come back and we're going to have time. We can ask questions about, okay, well, was there anything difficult about Pixton? They might have trouble, like, how do I really capture this event? And other people might have some ideas for them. Okay, well, you have to, maybe here's the government, right? Maybe we have to focus it a bit so that it doesn't look so modern. And you give it a little bit of a different focus. Anyway, there'll be time to answer all those sorts of questions. Students should really already have some knowledge of Pixton. And also, hopefully, they'll be able to share their thoughts about anything they found that was inspiring. And based on how they do with that, I might also add some additional follow-up questions like, what did this person really do that made a difference in our country? Why do you think this person is inspiring? And what can we learn about this person's life that we can apply today? And so hopefully this will give them opportunity to discuss who they chose, any things that stood out to them about who they're learning about, any questions they might have about Pixton, and then this will be the end, and they'll have more time the next day to ask more questions and to work on it. I am going to also end the assignment with a quick assessment. Just some questions I want to first know, okay, well, was my comic useful and effective for them? That'll give me an idea about, okay, do they remember what Abraham Lincoln is known for? They might just know from their studies during the year. And then just some people that inspire them, people who can remind what was significant, what did this person do that was significant or important, why did the person inspire them, and how they liked the lesson. Hopefully this lesson is going to really give students an opportunity to delve into significant people in U.S. history and maybe inspire them when they think, okay, well, this person was able to do this during that time. You know, what can we do today? And who are some great leaders and some great role models from our country and our country's history?